Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is Our Ladies of Sorrow. It was written by Kevin Ross. Our game master is Alex Sun, and this is episode 8. Our recap will be given by Dan DePaulis as his character, Nathaniel Pickering. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Dan?
I suppose I was thinking wishfully when I thought I'd rent myself free from the hold of the three sisters. After the ordeal at the apartment in Boston, I took some time to go out sailing on my newly finished sloop. I sailed out from Halibut Point in Rockport and headed north. I followed the coast to Portsmouth and on up to Maine. I supposed a visit to my hometown was going to set my head straight after what we all suffered in Boston. So I made my way up to Penobscot Bay, my old haunt. Memories of childhood came flooding back to me, and I was glad to be distracted from the turmoil of life back home. The respite from those welcoming coves and islands was brief. I was not ready for the news from Clara when I returned to port. She had just gotten word from the Mojave County Sheriff's Department in Kingman, Arizona, that our daughter Ellie is missing. She was on a trip to Las Vegas with some friends from school. It seems like they decided to go hiking in the desert north of Kingman while they were in the area and did not find their way back home. What dug a pit in my stomach, though, was that some fact pointed to a connection to the three sisters. The news frayed my sanity like an old, worn-out rope. I couldn't handle it on my own, so I did what I thought was right at the time. I called my friends from Boston. If anyone could understand and empathize with my pain, it would be them. So with despondent resignation, I called Rooster, hoping my friends would know what to do because I sure couldn't think straight. We all met at Andy's restaurant and had a discussion about my problem and what it means for everyone. Luckily, all my new friends are more than eager to help me get Ellie back. We made our way to Kingman and tied in with the sheriff to see what he knows and how we can help look for Ellie. Turns out that one of her friends was found in a location not too far from where they were hiking. My hopes were dashed when I saw the conditions they found him in, though. He was torn up, battered, and nearly catatonic. He could only mutter a few nonsense words that I could do nothing with. His condition convinced me that these kids didn't just get lost in the desert. Something's out there and we need to find it and stop it. So we make our way north to the Desert of Sighs to feel our way through this darkness and learn the true nature of Mater Suspiriorum and what she wants with us.
Thank you. It is Sunday, August 16th. It is the morning, and our investigators are traveling northward into the sighing desert itself. The cool and brisk morning breaks away to the sweat of 100+ degree dry weather. You take your all-terrain vehicles northbound, with the smattering of Joshua trees and jagged rocks all around. As you go deeper and deeper into the desert, your GPS tools and your compasses go a little haywire. The compass needle just goes round and round, and your GPS tool says that you're somewhere in China.
Do we have a landmark? Are we on a road or are we off-road?
You are on a road.
Okay. So at least we know that if we go back in this direction, we should go back home.
Right.
Are there any landmarks, mountain range or anything that we can see so that we know that we're still in the Mojave Desert?
Of course. So to your northwest, when your compass finally settles, you can see the Grand Wash Cliffs in the distance.
So there are the Grand Wash Cliffs. Not sure how far they go, but I think they go quite a ways, which would indicate that everything to the Everything to the right of us is Indian reservation. Most of it is. And to the left, it's just desert.
Assuming you're just going to go to Nick's Jeep location marked on the GPS,
Right.
I'll take a drive roll from everyone who's driving a vehicle. I know you took multiple vehicles.
We took
All-terrain vehicles like
I think we each took
ATVs.
one. Yeah.
Huh. Oh my God! I've only got 20
Yep.
in drive. I'll spend the 9 luck.
Okay.
I got a 96.
Oh, it's a fumble?
Yeah.
Or-
I mean, I only have 20 in drive, so.
Okay. So you hit a couple rocks, Andy, and it's absolutely brutal on your vehicle. It begins to putter.
I narrowly missed it.
But I'm only looking for fumbles.
Just regular fail here.
So it'll take a little more time, and since you're out in the sun, I'd like you all to make con now, as you're getting very dehydrated. Like
Pass.
I'm cool. I got a hard.
I did
Wonderful.
not quite make it.
Okay. So the effects of the sun on you, Nathaniel, are a little damaging. Some of your skin's exposed. The sun's just bearing down, and it's hot now. It's over 100 degrees. And
Nathaniel, are you wearing sunscreen? You look
Yeah,
a little
I
red.
put some on a while back, but I think I sweated it all off. My blood's just too thick for this.
Here,
Every 2 hours.
put some more on. Then I toss in my spray on. Does anybody need
Excellent.
water?
No, I'm good. Just some bumps from driving earlier. I'm fine.
Okay.
Nathaniel, I recall that, was it the cow skull man? Was he pointing at a specific location? Do you remember?
As far as a specific location goes, I couldn't tell you, but I believe he was facing north.
Yes, he was facing north from Kingman, which means he was just pointing towards the desert. You're not sure anywhere particular, but you're in that desert now, and you've just arrived at the location of Nick's Jeep.
Is
on
the
top
Jeep
of that-
still there?
No,
So they probably brought it in.
they have. Along the Jeep is a road that's been carved out from use, and you suspect that it goes to the next location, the location marked finger on the GPS.
It's a smaller road, like a hiking trail.
It is a hiking trail, and it looks like you're definitely not going to get your vehicles through.
Okay. Well, we'll have to park all of the vehicles here.
End of the line.
Not much chance that anybody's going to come out here and steal them. So
No, I'm just concerned about us being out in this too long.
do you want to wait until the
overheating.
sun is lower on the horizon and walk?
Do we know about how far the finger location is from where we are?
Maybe a mile or two.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. What time of the day is it, though? There's no cover at all.
it's around noon. It's real hot.
Yeah, heat of the day. Yeah.
But fortunately enough, along the path are the Grand Wash Cliffs, so you'll be in the cliffs area yourself.
Okay.
At least in following the trail
Are we on top of the cliffs or at the base of the cliffs?
at the base.
At
So-
the base.
Can we take advantage of some shade from them?
Of course.
We definitely should, yeah. And when
Does
we
the
get back
sun-
to town, honestly, we should bring umbrellas.
Does the sun set in the west or in the east? It sets in the west, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in the west.
So
Yeah.
we're on the western side of the cliffs. There's not going to be too much shade. If it's
Yeah, it
laying
depends on
already.
how. Are we in sort of a slot canyon or?
Yeah, it's a slot canyon and it winds. So
Is there
it's
an
a
old?
s-
Is there any water, or is it just a dry river bed?
no water that you can see
Okay.
besides everything you're carrying with you.
There is a lake though directly to our west,
Yes.
unless that's also called a lake, but it's actually a big
No,
old
there'd be a lake there.
Yeah.
dry hole.
And as you're taking in your surroundings of these grand cliffs in the distance, there's a sonorous sigh that blows through the rocks. It sounds like
The wind.
breathing.
Yeah.
I know it's just the wind, but I don't like the inference.
Well,
I think just a mile wouldn't be terrible.
all right. You guys,
Maybe get there and assess after that.
you guys should have
Okay.
brought hats.
Yeah, like I said, umbrellas. We should get some while we're in town.
You would know that Paul's Outfitters probably has umbrellas as well as hats.
All right, but if any of you start to feel faint, then we need to stop, and we can wait a couple of hours until we can hide behind a rock or something out of the sun.
Oh yeah, you can see the distortions from the heat waves in the distance.
Because if you pass out here, I mean, we're a long way away from civilization at this point.
Excellent. So you're gonna continue to follow the trail, the hiking trail?
Yeah, I also advise everybody, even if they know it already, to watch your feet. Don't just go walking along without looking down, because there could be snakes or anything else. It's too hot right now for snakes, but watch out. And watch out for jumping cactus, that fucking shit. Seriously.
Okay. So you're going to follow the trail until you reach maybe the finger GPS coordinate. You do so. GPS manages to stay stable for now. And you end up at a rude outcropping. It looks exactly like a middle finger sticking out of the ground.
Finger.
Huh.
Well, my suspicions were much more morbid. But I wonder why it was marked on their map. I'd like to take a look around just to see if there's anything relevant.
Okay. But just more rocks. It's really a landmark.
Got it.
Or a tourist point that the kids probably would have marked down to take pictures at.
Okay.
The trail continues northeast into the Grand Wash Cliffs themselves. The sun continues to bear down upon you all. Oppressive nature. You feel your skin just burning.
Is everyone okay?
I'm all right, but
Yeah.
I'm concerned. It says maze. That makes me worry. I hope
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
lost
all right.
in some
Why don't we stop here then? Because if we can find at least a place out of the direct sun.
Yeah, so you're going to take a little break?
Yeah. We brought
Okay.
sandwiches or something probably.
Yeah, nice picnic. So, let's say you have your lunch, and I'd like a spot hidden roll at this time.
94. I'm looking at my feet.
Pass, regular success.
regular success as well.
Okay. So, Andy, as you're taking a big swig from your water bottle, at the corner of your eye, you see a hazy silhouette, maybe 30 yards away. And when you look directly at it, it's gone, but you could have sworn that it was a person watching.
I think June saw the same thing.
Did she?
I mean, she got a success on her
Yeah.
spot hidden.
Did she?
Oh, did you? Oh, I see. All right. Yeah. You see Andy take a big drinking from his water bottle, and he nearly spits the water out after seeing that, and says, "I saw a silhouette of a person standing there," and he points to that direction.
What?
Yeah. It's. Can I tell if it's male or female, or it's just vaguely humanoid?
You can't tell, but what I can tell you is that it was about child-sized, maybe 3 or 4 feet in height.
Yeah, it was a silhouette of a child over there.
Over there?
And wandering the desert.
Yeah, Kurt, remember that story? We read. It's about the 8-year-old boy.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily think that there's something out there that's a child. I mean, we could go give it a. We could look. You do remind me though. We should. That author lives in Las Vegas, which is really close. We should probably see him in person at some point in this investigation.
Yeah, and I mean, we both read those stories. It might be, my mind playing tricks on me, but that's what I saw. A small child over there.
I did read in a couple of places that, in these hot, arid places, mirages are kind of a common occurrence.
It could also be an Indian kid, or American, Native American kid. Well, how was he dressed?
Can I tell or no? It's just a silhouette.
It was almost like it was a heat haze that has taken form.
I relayed that information. I couldn't tell. Again, it could be a mirage, as what Kurt and Nathaniel has said, but
I would almost expect to see blue jeans, maybe a white T-shirt and denim jacket, denim shirt or something. If not that, then it's probably a mirage or a cactus. Maybe a cactus looks kind of like a person when the ripples in the air distort.
That is a possibility.
Anyways, where you said over here? Maybe we should walk that way just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just if it is a child should not be out in this heat.
Exactly. And
Right.
I'm tired of chalking things up to coincidence and whatever after everything else we've seen.
So you're all going to get up and walk where Andy saw the child?
It's only about 30 yards, but we should be cautious about conserving our energy in this heat.
Yeah, very cautious.
Then in that case, I'd like a group luck roll.
I am at 54.
43.
71.
52.
Okay, so
59.
So it's
I guess
Nathaniel.
it's.
All right, so Nathaniel Pickering would be making a roll.
97.
All right, so as you're all walking about 30 yards away to where that boy or that child or that figure was standing, you see nothing but the expanse of the desert and the mountains in the distance, Kingman far out of sight, just a speck. You look back to where you were picnicking, and you see a lean-looking coyote grab one of your sandwich bags and like a water bottle.
I'm going to run at it screaming. Ah, get out of here. Go.
All right, then I'll like a intimidate.
93.
All right, it runs off with some supplies.
Damn, son of a bitch.
Oh, well.
Yeah, bark you all you want, dog.
Yeah.
Shit.
Let's
We got to watch our stuff.
yeah.
Did
we need to
anyone
take
note
stock.
what we lost?
Yeah.
Well,
take
let's
stock,
look through
'cause
it.
We might need to turn around.
You lost the sandwich and a water bottle.
Bitch.
we got some trail mix at least to hold us over, right, Rooster?
I don't like
course.
being out of water. I don't like losing water though.
Yeah, they're opportunists. They're mostly harmless. They're not very, except in a pack. But damn it, I think that we've still got plenty of water.
And
I was
you do?
overcautious. But yeah. From now on, let's keep somebody in. If we go looking out, we got to make sure somebody stays with the food, or we bring it with us.
Wiley
Bet you
back.
could smell that a mile away. Came looking for us.
So you finish up your picnic. I'm assuming you're going to continue traveling along the path.
Yeah, reapply the sunscreen.
Okay.
Starting to smell like a coconut.
So you do so. After traveling, maybe from half an hour to another hour, you come amongst another one of the landmarks that's marked on the GPS. This one marked Maze. It's a series of irregular winding paths delineated by borders of dirt scooped away from the pathway. And here and there's some outlines with stone. The design of this maze is circular. It's about 15 yards across, so it's not that big of a maze. But it does go above, the walls go above a conventional person.
Wow. Came out here and built this damn thing.
It's an interesting formation. Do we run any risk of actually getting lost in this, or is it just a peculiar formation?
Oh, you can get lost for a little, but since it's only 15 yards diameter,
there is
probably not for that long.
There is a method so that you don't get lost in a maze. Make sure your hand is always touching the right-hand wall as you go through, and you should make it all the way to the end.
Who wants to go in the maze?
Well, we should probably all stick
I'll go
together.
looking to see. Yeah, see if there's anything.
Just one after the other.
Yeah, if you'd like. If you really want to complete the maze, you can give me an intelligence roll. And Rooster, you can even give me a bonus die, strictly because you have that technique.
I got an 11. Yeah.
Okay. This is really good. So you make it to the center of the maze. I'm just going to focus on Rooster here, because he's the first one to do so with his 11. And he reaches the center, what you think is the center, and making your way out of it. As you turn the corner to start making your way out of it, you see that figure, the one with the cow skull on his head. He's pointing southeast.
Is it just like a flash of him, or is he?
Yeah. It's a
there?
blink and he's gone.
Oh my God, dudes!
What's wrong, Rooster?
What's going on?
Give me a sanity roll.
Either
I'm a
I
bit
just
shocked by this.
Yeah, 51 is. Come on, why is my mouse not working? 51 is. Sorry. Oh, there we go. 51 is a pass.
Right.
Regular.
Okay. Then it's 0. The man
But
for sure was pointing southeast.
Okay. I lean up against one of the walls a little bit, and I pull out my water in the canteen and I drink.
After at the exit of the maze, the trail continues northeast.
Okay. I tell him as we're continuing, I'm like, so I might have hallucinated. I don't feel dizzy, but I think I saw man with the cow skull.
Really?
And
Where?
he was pointing southeast, if I am not mistaken.
Well, if that's the case, then the silver lining is probably in the right place.
Except that he's kind of pointing back the opposite direction of where we're going. Is that correct, Alex?
The trail continues northeast. The skull-headed man was pointing southeast.
So
Off the trail.
trail's here, but he was pointing this way.
That is correct.
I guess the choice
And
is
which direction did we come from?
You came from the southwest.
The southwest. Why?
But from the map, doesn't the trail, if we start at the northern terminus, the trailhead there, doesn't the trail generally go heads
It
east
curves?
and southeast for a little bit in sort of like a clockwise semicircle?
It does. So continuing along the trail would be northeast. Going off the trail would be going southeast. Going back to the Jeep location would be southwest.
Now, I'm in favor of following the trail. I mean, maybe I just had a hallucination. I don't.
I mean, I guess now we choose. Are we following after visions, or are we being sensible about things? I think that I think both are legitimate options given what we've seen.
But from where we're standing now, what is in that direction? Is there any trail, anything at all, or is it
No,
just crossing?
just desert.
We better stay on the trail.
I
mean,
think we should stay on the trail.
if
I
we get
mean,
lost out here, I'd rather be on the trail because then at least then they're going to know where to look. If we're across country, all bets are off.
do we even know if we can trust this thing?
No, but we can trust the trail. It's right there on the map.
Yeah, but
I think let's keep going.
What if he's pointing us in the direction of where the kids
Maybe.
are?
yeah, that's.
I mean,
what
surely
was
they've
thinking.
looked all over this trail for them, right?
That-
I mean,
That's kind of what I was thinking, is that there is an advantage to a path which leads us off road just because presumably the authorities have looked on the road, on the path.
You realize we're talking about trusting a momentary hallucination that I had because we're out in the desert and it's 115 degrees and
doubting
I mean-
ourselves and refusing to connect the dots when applicable is why Milton died. If we had acted
Oh.
sooner, Milton might still be with us. That's what I'm concerned about right now.
then we've got to do something right in this spot where we're standing to leave a message for rescuers if we get lost or whatever. Do we have any a pen or chalk or anything?
I mean, I'm not
that?
saying I'm not saying we have to go right now. Like maybe we go back to town, we prepare ourselves better, and we come back to this point, and then we strike out in that direction.
My concern is that if there is someone there, time could be the essence here.
I'm going to collect a bunch of small hand-sized rocks, and I am going to make an arrow in the middle of the path, pointing in the direction that we're going to try, so that rescuers will know which direction to go to find our dead bodies out there, our desiccated corpses.
Excellent. Very well.
In this direction, what's the terrain like? Are we going to be able to see where we came from for quite a while, or as soon as we get off trail, are we going to lose sight of it?
You will most likely lose sight of the maze once you travel. How far are you even traveling?
We don't know, but maybe we should find a way to leave ourselves a breadcrumbs going back.
And actually, Nathaniel, at this point in time, I'd like you to make me an intelligence roll.
That's a regular success.
Okay. Good. So, you have the Kachina doll. You have a hunch that you know exactly where Kingman, Arizona is.
Okay.
It's like a gut feeling. But you definitely know it's in that direction.
Okay. Well, all right. I think if we
Can't place it. It's just a feeling.
if we take a calculated risk, I think we can go off trail for a little bit. I think I've got a good idea. I mean, at the very least, we know where Kingman is, right? And if we head in that direction, it'd be a pain in the ass, but we at least know where we came from. In worst case, if we're heading off trail, we turn around until we intersect the trail, right? Because that's our boundary, right? Eventually, we got to hit the trail if we just head in a direction. So maybe Rooster's onto something. Maybe he saw something. Maybe it was I don't know. I mean, that little kid drawing these things, I mean, this bull-headed man, I mean, we don't know if it's an evil spirit. Maybe it's helpful.
We have to assume that they have combed this trail looking for your girl, Nathaniel, and found nothing. I think
that's true.
Exploring other options is the way
if
to
these
go.
Kids were along the trail, they have found them.
All right, I agree. So what I'm going to do to take precaution is, if there are any yuccas, bushes, cactus, or whatever, I'm going to gash them as we go along so that we have a breadcrumbs going back.
Very
I'm not
well.
going to kill them. I'm just going to make a mark that I can recognize.
Yeah, you can twist off individual branches.
And it doesn't really hurt the plant anyway. You cut into a cactus and it'll just sprout more branches from that spot eventually. Okay, so with those precautions.
Lead the way, Rooster.
Okay, so you continue to travel southeast off the path. I'd like everyone to make a listen roll.
82, I'm concentrating on cutting things.
Okay.
That's a hard success.
Only got regular.
Regular
Okay.
success.
Okay. So those of you who succeeded, actually, those of you who failed, you hear more of that sighing wind just pushing through these canyons, these cliffs. And those of you who succeeded, you hear your own name calling, being beckoned. How far are you going to travel? Until you find something of note?
It's a good question, honestly. At some point, if we don't find anything, we have to give it up and go back.
Well, remember, it's very hot. Now we're not on
Yeah.
the trail.
You've been out for another hour or so.
Let's do this. Let's walk for a half an hour, and then if we don't find anything at all, walk back to the
Yeah.
trail.
Okay. Excellent.
I'll keep an eye on my clock, my watch.
Everybody keep an eye on their water, too.
In that case, make a spot hidden roll.
Oh, 19.
With a
Barely
19,
pass.
those of you
19.
who succeeded, there's an untrodden path of sand, some 50 yards across. In the center, you can see something shiny. A reflection from the sunlight off a piece of metal.
This is, you said, a small trail leading off? And
This is a 50-yard untrodden path that's undisturbed. It's just sand. And there's a shiny piece of metal that you can see the glint of in the distance.
See, there's something over there.
What are you
Yeah,
looking
what
at,
is that?
Rooster?
Wait, what?
It's like maybe there's an old car part or something out in the middle of nowhere. Let me walk over here.
Okay.
Huh, now that you pointed out, yeah.
In that case, I'd like you all to make a sand roll. The sand loss for this is 0/1d3.
Got an 18.
Good to go.
So these are skeletal remains. You can see a skull gaping at the pitiless sun, the bony hands clutching to escape this burning sand. On its neck is a cross, and it is definitely a dead body that has been desiccated,
Poor guy.
sun bleached.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I'll go up to it and did you say it was partly buried, or is it?
It's partly buried. It's got sand on it, and it's a miracle that you saw the cross.
Yeah. I will.
The body looks female.
Okay. It's a woman.
Nathaniel, how do you feel?
You know, I had to convince myself that this wasn't just another illusion, but now that I'm right there in the flesh, it's a dead body. I'm not feeling too good about this. Is there some sort of a check I could make just to verify that this body is older than any of the ones that we would be?
No check required. It's definitely older. This is weeks old, for weeks. Yeah. And if you'd like, you can unbury it a little more to identify it.
Are you saying it only looks weeks old? It's not like 50 years
months
old?
Months or years. Yeah.
No, it looks weeks old.
So
the missing hikers, they went missing maybe 3 days ago.
Okay.
This is unfortunate, but do we have a GPS? Could I put a pin here so that when we get back to town, we could tell law enforcement, hey, we found another body out here?
Of course. You got to do that, and you're in Iceland. But then that subsides and you're back in the sighing desert.
Well, I mean, we kind of know where we were on the trail and which direction we're going, so we can give that information too. I'm going to look for ID.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, at least look for ID.
And I will recover the jewelry in case, we can find out who this is and to their family.
Woman wears a tiny silver cross. On top of that, in her left hand, she wears a dried out rubber bracelet, and it says Stephen Colbert on it. But it's not your daughter, Nathan, as you see that she has short blonde hair. However, it does look like one of the missing hikers. Looks like Jesse Moorman.
This is Jesse.
It is.
This body looks way...
Yeah, make a sand roll, please. Yep.
And this is what the heat can do.
All right. It's just 0/1.
3 days? We should have a rotting corpse in front of us, shouldn't we?
Well, there's so much heat out here. It looks more desiccated, like it just dried up.
This isn't good. This isn't good at all.
No.
And Rooster, you were searching?
Yeah, I was looking
for ID.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'll dig her out a little bit and roll her over.
Yeah, there's a small purse that she has, and at her side is a small digital camera.
Oh, what's a camera?
The camera's dead.
I'll hand the camera back.
Take it anyway.
To somebody. I'll take the purse. Well, at least we found one of them. We can inform her family. I'll collect her belongings that are, the cross and stuff.
Yeah, this
is awful.
Terribly sad.
Can we...
doesn't bode well for the rest of them.
I'm going to look for... there's probably not a stick or anything around out here.
I mean, if it helps, I always bring my little Bible with me. I can say a little prayer, so at least her soul can rest. I was thinking about that.
I was going to find something that I could hang a piece of cloth on so that people coming back will say, there's where she is. Maybe if I can tear a strip of cloth and there's a tree or a Joshua tree or a cactus, wrap it around and tie it so that people can see.
Yeah, you can.
Where the body is.
I think that's a nice idea, though, Andy. Obviously, religion was important to her.
Yeah.
So, what kind of prayer are you reciting?
Nothing really. I can't really think one on the top of my head, but at least something a prayer used to hopefully have her soul rest in peace. Like, oh Lord, please please receive this young woman. Hopefully she'll be well, be reunited with her loved ones. A very short one, since we can't really be here for so long. That's what he says after like reading from the Bible. After that, he closes it and he'll say, "I cannot help but remember that drawing of the woman with lots of crosses."
Yeah, but I thought that was Mary.
I know, but I just cannot help but make that correlation. And I don't know, I when you pointed that piece of metal, I thought it would be the key.
There is something weird about this, though. Does her body look more or less intact?
Give me a medicine or biology roll.
Because you would definitely think that coyotes would have had a snack. I don't have either one of those, but I can see if she torn up.
No,
that doesn't make any sense. There's got to be coyotes out here that would have had a feast.
Would a natural world roll do anything?
I'll take it.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's surely strange because the body's desiccated, like it's been out for months, but it hasn't been months.
Right.
It just doesn't sit right with you. And I feel like deep down, Nathaniel, you're happy that that's not your daughter.
I mean, I'm relieved in a sense that it's not Ellie, but I'm worried because where are the rest of them?
An idea just popped in my head, guys, about as they talk about how they say like, oh, the GPS says that we were in Iceland or whatnot, right? Seeing that this body looks like it's been here longer, seeing its value of size, is it possible that it can mess with time? Not only place?
As far as it looks, it's just that the GPS isn't registering correctly here.
Judging with all the things we have witnessed, I know it's quite far-fetched. But I don't know.
I'm starting to think that we need to go back to civilization and inform them we found a body.
We definitely should, yeah.
Before we can continue this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or later this afternoon when it cools down.
Yeah, it is the afternoon. So by the time you get back, it's going to be night.
What do you think?
I think in a way it'd be the right thing to do. We'd have more eyes on this place for sure. In this, in the recovery of this, search and rescue might recover something else or find something else.
I'm inclined though now to believe also that that Buffalo Man pointed us right at this. We wouldn't have come this way without him. Maybe we should go on just a little bit more in this direction in case
How's
God
our water
forbid
supply
we find
looking?
the rest of them.
Have we got
You've used half of your water supply.
A little bit further, but not much.
Does anyone else have any ideas?
We can do
more
maybe
minutes?
if we can cover more.
Okay.
Are we sure that this lake that's on the map is going to actually have water in it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see any lake as we drove up here, but it's on the other side of a ridge, so
And there's no
Red Lake?
Red Lake.
There's no footprints, right, around her body. And I guess maybe this is a stupid question. Should we walk in the opposite direction of where her body fell? You know what I mean? Like where she was maybe coming from, at least in that vague direction.
Were we already? I don't know. Buffalo Man pointed in this direction, so
Yeah.
It's hard to discern.
I don't know.
Especially
Yeah.
since the body's been moved.
Figured. Yeah, I figured as much.
You know, your little Kachina, it kind of looks. He's got horns. He's like a buffalo, isn't he?
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, now that you're making the connection, yes.
You know, and call me crazy, but I kind of got this gut feeling, like how that owner of that outfitter was saying that. Got this gut feeling that I know my way back to town. I mean, that could just be confirmation bias, but I mean, I feel it in my bones. Like I know my way back to Kingdom.
Well, I know that
I'm not worried about us. Go ahead.
I know the Native Americans worship the buffalo. He's like one of their primary gods, if you will. Wakan Tonka.
I'm less worried about us getting lost and more worried about us running out of supplies and being too far away from anywhere.
Well, let's go for 15 more minutes and then turn around and walk all the way back. Report this. I've got her stuff, and we've left a mark.
Come back with more people tomorrow. You know, greater chance of finding the rest of them.
Right.
All right, so you're going to travel about 15 more minutes in that direction.
Right.
It's a whole lot of nothing, a wild expanse of just sand, dust clouds just billowing up
Less
from the
plants.
wind. Yeah, there's plants. They're all mostly dried,
Sure.
starving for rain. And you hear your name again, Rooster.
I didn't
Whispered
hear it the
it.
first time. But,
Well,
okay.
this time you hear it, and it sounds like your brother Sean,
Guys, I'm starting to
and he's calling for you.
hear things.
How you feeling, Rooster? Enough water?
How do I feel? Can I do a Constitution roll?
Yeah, everyone can give me a Constitution roll.
Oh, not so good.
You're
I
hitting
didn't-
levels of fatigue now.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
I'm feeling kind of tired too.
Yeah. If it's your second failure, you definitely feel some fatigue.
Well, let's go.
All right, let's go
We
back.
shouldn't tire ourselves out anymore.
Yeah. Do you need some help, Rooster? Like,
No, I'm okay. I'm just I'm hearing my name on the wind. You know, it's probably just another hallucination. But
I heard that earlier, but let's go. Maybe some rest, some food would do us good.
All right, so just to speed things along, you make your way back to the trail without an issue, and you travel southwest along the pathway to get to the finger, and then the Jeep, where you parked all of your vehicles.
okay.
Now that you're at your vehicles, what would you like to do? Sun's definitely setting.
Now, should we head back? I mean, that's what we're here for anyway.
Yeah.
Go
Let's
back.
go back.
In that
We
case,
can look at this camera, all that. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
right. In that case, I'd like you all to give me a spot hidden roll as you are traveling back down the road back to Kingman, Arizona.
Nope.
I got a 14, which is an extreme.
I've rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh,
a
nice.
one.
Wow.
Then, Kurt, I suppose it'd be appropriate for you to notice that rock formation of an eagle that old Mexican man was making a fire at. You would notice that there is absolutely no sign that a fire has ever been there. And there is something on the ground where the fire was. If you'd like to stop your vehicle, of course.
Yeah, I'll stop my vehicle. I thought to take a note of him the first time we came around, and I guess something draws me to it this time.
There's no ashes. There is no embers. However, there is the remnants of a rolled up cigarette, just the cigarette butt, and a large golden feather.
Hey,
It's a golden eagle feather, so not actually gold.
Oh.
I make a note of this to everyone, including the absence of the ashes.
That's odd. There was definitely a man there. He had a fire.
The wind have blown him away? Or?
No, there's
What was he burning?
no
Was he burning
sign
wood?
of fire. Yes.
Yeah. There's no chunks of charcoal or...
But the cigarette butt is there.
We all saw the same person, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, that'd be
Well,
hell.
you guys talked to him. I kept going and had to come back, but I saw him. Yeah, he was there.
There was definitely a man here. I'm gonna sort of run my fingers through the ground and see if maybe he buried the ash. Or...
You're gonna see if anything's buried or disturbed. All right, no roll required. There isn't.
Huh.
Right here, for sure.
The eagle formation's there. The rock formation's there.
We need to get back. We're
Let's go.
freaking ourselves out.
What are you doing with the feather?
Holding on to it, I think.
Bring
Yeah.
the feather.
Okay.
Don't let anybody see it, though. I think it's illegal to, except for unless you're a Native American.
Very nice. So you drive a few more, one more hour, and you're back to civilization. You can see the bright lights of Kingman, Arizona, comforting you from the hostile wastelands around. Your hotel.
It's nice to get back into air conditioning.
That's correct. So what are you doing as you get back into town?
Is there a way we can find a
Charge the
patch
camera.
cord for the camera?
Unless
Of course.
it's batteries. I don't know.
So there's an SD card in, and it is battery operated.
You can just take the
As
SD
well.
card out if someone has a laptop. Then
Yeah. Somebody, do we have a laptop with us?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you would. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I probably do. Okay.
In that case, do you all gather around to look at these pictures, or
Yeah, let's crowd
Absolutely.
around the small
Maybe
laptop
order-
screen.
Order some takeout and see what's on the camera.
Does
Alright.
pizza sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. I can eat anything right now.
Okay.
so there's actually dozens of photographs. Some of them, well, I'll go through them. The first few,
Just before we do that, did we contact the police?
I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
Did you?
that's got to be the first thing
That
that we
would be
did.
the first. That
Yeah.
would-
And we tell them where we are so they can come to us.
Okay. In that case, let's adjudicate that. The police arrive. Sheriff Thom Gus is there of the Mojave Sheriff's County Department, and he says, "Well, I heard you found a body out there.
Yeah. We think that it's Jesse.
Did you take pictures? Did you move the body?"
No, it's exactly there. We tied a little a cloth around the a nearby cactus.
Okay.
We have the
so that you can
coordinates.
see it.
Then we will take those coordinates and send out a team tonight to find it.
Okay.
Because
Meanwhile,
this
I
is
will-
this is important.
I will
There's-
download all of the photos onto my laptop and
Yeah.
give them the.
Oh,
there.
real smart of you. Good job. Have you ever had a chance to talk to Police Chief Dave Youngblood yet of Peach Springs?
Not yet.
He's on
our
the
list.
western side of the Sighing Desert. He's at Peach Springs. That's on the Native American reservation.
Yeah, we'll do that. We were on the trail when we saw something headed on over there. And,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and
Well-
here's all of her personal effects. Give him
Oh, okay.
everything that we grabbed.
Thank you.
Um,
Their parents are going to rest easy now that we have
It's
some.
not going to be easy for them.
Yeah.
Oh, before you go, I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
Andy just describes the Mexican man and says, "Do you know anyone by that description?"
There's a lot of Mexican people around these parts.
Mm. Well, it's worth. Well, it's just someone we saw briefly. And I thought, I thought he would be of significance. But thank you.
Anybody who lives out there, that area?
Oh no, I don't really know anyone who lives there who doesn't own maybe a trailer.
Oh,
Yeah,
'cause
they own a trailer, and
he was smoking, had himself a little fire going, but
he have a car. He walked all
no,
there, all the way out there by himself.
we were out, so we were quite surprised he was out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's most peculiar.
There's a rock formation that kind of looks like an eagle.
Oh, I know the place.
Yeah, it was right. He was right next to that.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
All right. Won't take much of your time. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you folks take care now, and let me know if you find anything else.
Yeah, we'll go out there again tomorrow, probably. We'll go by a peach tree or whatever you said.
Peach Springs? Yeah.
Peach Springs.
Make a day out of it. The people there are very friendly.
Cool.
And he exits. Meanwhile, your photos have finished downloading and are ready to be viewed.
All right, let's take a look at these.
Your pizza arrives, and you all gather around the laptop, the screen shining on all of your faces, and you find that there are dozens of photographs. There are the first few feature Jeremy Brent. He's usually mugging for the camera. He's sometimes hugging or kissing Jesse. And the next few show Jesse looking pretty good in a small black bikini. The next few were taken in airports featuring Jeremy, Chad, Mancina. Your heart kind of skips a little, Nathan, as you see Ellie. And the last ones are with Nick Karras. So the next several pictures show the friends at Nick's parents' house, eating, drinking, goofing off. There are them loading up into a Jeep, followed by a couple shots of them in the car with Nick driving. The next show the gang, minus Jesse, in the desert at the foot of the finger. They each give their own middle finger at the camera. Jeremy is leaning against a sign that reads Red Lake in another photograph, while Chad stands scratching his head with a mock quizzical look on his face, gazing out across this empty desert. The next few photos are of the mazes that you visited today. Some of them are alone, others with Nick and Ellie following the path, and then the others and so forth. Give me a spot hidden roll, please, everyone.
3.
Regular
success.
Okay, then June, since you got an extreme, you notice a blurry, hazy, human-like figure in the background of one of the shots near the maze. But it could also be a Joshua tree.
Look at that. Right there.
What are you seeing?
And when you point that out, Antonio, this is something that you recognize. Maybe it's something you saw in the desert, the mirage-like figure.
Wait, June, that's what I saw earlier today.
It's Joshua tree. I mean,
Is that the last picture?
No.
We'll keep a note of that. I mean, it could be a Joshua tree, but...
All right. So the next couple of pictures are from the Three Sisters rock formation. They are tall, and they actually look very motherly. And when I mean mothering, I mean like breasts of this rock formation. One of them is actually weeping. Some kind of dark stain coming from where the eyes are. Another one Another set of photos are of the shrooms, which are toadstool-shaped stones, hidden from each other. They're all hiding and peeking out at each other. And give me another spot hidden roll.
So they got that far at least.
Got an extreme success.
Okay.
I also got an extreme success.
Those of you who rolled an extreme notice not one, but two strange blurry figures in the background of these photos.
God.
Once again, hazy, heat-like apparitions. Child
I'm
size.
starting to see these things too. There's one
Yeah.
there and another over there.
And this one, it's got a horned head or a helmet of some kind on.
Are they? Do they look at all like Kachinas?
No. They do not. You can make out a little bit of fur, but that's about it. And the strangest thing is, at times the figures, they're so close to these hikers that it seems impossible that they would have gone unnoticed, at least by the photographer.
Well, and the photographer must be Jessie, because we don't see her in any of the
Right.
photographs.
That's correct.
Right.
The last few photographs show the hikers at various unknown spots in this desert. There's a group shot, but Nick is missing. And then with Jessie there, and then another one with Jessie missing, but Nick there. And then you see it very clearly. In the second photo of that same picture where Jessie is now taking the photo, there's the man in the cow skull mask.
Cow skull. There he is.
Yeah. He's moved within a few yards behind the group. And then when you look back at the original picture, he's further away.
So he's getting closer.
Yes.
Rather ominous.
Right. And the last few photos are some very dark shots, apparently taken inside a natural cavern. These scenes are lit by flashlights and show a very large Native American painting on the walls of these caves.
Look at that.
Right.
Grass.
You can make out tall modern buildings amid primitive domed huts and medieval castles. It's the strangest thing.
Exactly as the novel described.
Yeah, exactly.
That's impossible. Unless somebody went out there and
That's right.
Are there I know sometimes digital pictures will have data behind them that will have like
The metadata, yeah. They would just show time and like date of when
we
the
got
photos
time.
were taken.
Daytime
Yeah.
indicates daytime.
How long
It's
ago?
This would be about maybe 4 or 5 days ago.
And this is past the shrooms. Guys, we could actually go to the end of the trail and come out up the other way. We'd get there a lot faster.
Yeah, you can make that path from Peach Springs even.
Yeah.
maybe on our way up tomorrow we can visit the police chief at Peach Springs, and then if we're early enough, head out for a jaunt and try to find this cavern.
Yeah. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised either if we...
The presence of these buildings really makes it imperative that we do speak to the author as soon as we can.
Well,
Does he
Vegas
have a
is
number?
what, like 2 hours away?
Drivable.
I mean, we
split
can
up.
We
I
can
wonder if
call
we
him.
can get a hold of him on the phone and go see him this evening. I mean, it's just afternoon now.
Or I could go to see
Oh, it's
him
the
alone
evening
and then
now.
What's that?
It is the evening now.
I could go see him alone and then I could call all of you after for what
Okay. Yeah. If we can get a hold of him, yeah.
So, yeah, that could work. Maybe we could get a hold of the author and Kurt, if you'd be willing to speak with him, and then we can keep in touch on the phone.
Yeah. I mean, you could get there. There's not going to be a lot of traffic going there, so not from here. Not at night. You want to go
All
now?
right.
You can get over there and talk to him, come back.
You
Be back in
definitely
about
can.
5 hours.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
All right. So, Kurt, you're going to head out. Wonderful.
Yes.
All right, then. What are the rest of you doing tonight?
Andy would like to do some research on the golden eagle to see if it has any more like mythological significance or something like that. I don't think the library is open, but maybe through the laptop and through the internet, he can do some digging through there.
Yeah, of course.
That would be computer use, right?
Yeah.
All right. No. That's a big fail.
All right. So you just get the basic information, like how the golden eagle lives in the northern hemisphere, and it is one of the best known birds of prey. It finds what it needs. It hunts.
Mm-hmm.
That being
Okay.
said, that's general overhead information you find. As for symbolism, like maybe it's one of hunting and being a predator. It could be also a protection.
Okay. And I did some little digging, show the information to him, and then I can't help but go back to how the city or the Native American paintings are of skyscrapers, medieval castles, and whatnot. There's
Yeah,
something-
you can research
Yeah.
the three information on the three sisters as well,
Okay.
because some of this stuff is very occultish.
Mm-hmm. So roll occult for that? Or...
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Even Nathaniel can help if he'd like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I failed on that. So
Yeah, I can
Okay.
get you a hand on that. What are you working on here?
something about this city. I couldn't really find anything about if there's any significance about this mysterious city of the occult.
Well, let's have a look at what you got here. Is this going to be an occult roll?
Yes, please.
All right, that is an extreme.
Ah, nice.
Oh, an extreme. Okay, so you're looking at this mishmash of cities, and you're looking back at the photographs, and you're starting to examine them real carefully. You're seeing medieval castles, skyscrapers, huts, shacks, even like suburban houses depicted in these drawings. You also find very Greek architecture, lots of columns. And then that kind of, since you got an extreme, right? That brings you back towards the whip marks. They look like whip marks. And then your mind wanders to the three Furies of Greek mythology. I do have a document.
This is all so strange. I mean, there's quite a lot of examples of historical anachronism here. Different time periods bashing together and into one place. It's such an odd thing that Native American petroglyphs or pictographs would have anything to do with all these different time periods. So this is leading me to think of something about the Greek Furies. There was whip marks on Jeremy's body, and all these anachronisms and some of the architecture that we're seeing in the petroglyphs here. Let me see. So I imagine I would find maybe a book in the library about the Furies.
Of course.
All right. So here's what I found here, Andy. The Furies, or Erinyes, were the awful avengers of Greek myth. Born from the blood spilled when the Titan Kronos castrated his father, the sky god Uranus. The Erinyes' duty was to avenge crimes of murder committed against one's own kin, especially upon a mother. They too were 3 in number: Electo, the endless, or alternately, the persevering anger; Tisiphone, the retaliator, or blood avenger; and Megara, the envious rager, or the jealous. They are horrible, stinking female creatures, nearly insane, with black skin, ichor-oozing eyes, acrid breath, snakes in their hair, and whips and torches in their clawed hands. They speak in grating, barking voices, and torture the damned in Hades. The most famous tale of the Furies is Aeschylus' play The Eumenides, Kindly Ones, in which they seek vengeance upon the youth Orestes for the murder for his mother Clytemnestra, whom he had killed to avenge her role in the murder of his father Agamemnon. Heedless of Orestes' motives and driven by their own sense of duty, the Erinyes pursue him relentlessly, howling their terrible song. Over the beast, doomed to the fire, this is the chant. Frenzy and fear, hurting the heart, song of the Furies, binding brain and blighting blood in its stringless melody. The doomed Orestes calls upon the god Apollo for aid, but the Furies ignore even Apollo's appeals, and finally the goddess Athena is brought on to judge the matter. When Athena finds in favor of Orestes, the enraged avengers threaten to defy her and spread terror across the land. I, disinherited, suffering, heavy with anger, shall let loose on the land the vindictive poison, dripping deadly out of my heart upon the ground. The Furies are only tamed when Athena offers them a temple and worshippers in the city of Athens, where they will be welcomed as protectors. The Erinyes agree, and afterward dwell in a cave beneath the city they guard. They now literally become the Kindly Ones. Henceforth, they are usually depicted as clean-cut female goddesses armed with bows. That could have something to do with the strange lacerations and wounds on Jeremy's body. It wouldn't be a far cry to make that connection.
And there is a lot of Greek mythology that comes to mind. The Minotaur, even the Gorgons.
Sure. Question about the cave painting.
Of course.
Despite the objects you describe in it, is it primitive? Does it look like it was painted hundreds of years ago by Native Americans?
Yes.
Is there a record of anything like that in the area already? Like, has someone recorded this?
Oh, and you're going to look in...
Yeah.
No, nothing.
It would be astounding, you know. It would be considered immediately a fake, because how could it possibly be so?
It's peculiar. Again, there's something up with this desert, seeing that this mysterious city exists as if all the time periods are morphed together. There's something odd going on here, unless it's some type of
city at the center of time.
Yes, if we're going to deal with it seems like this. My theory is that this desert, it's both dealing with both, mentioned before, time and place, and somehow this city, as described in the novels that Kurt and I read, It described just that. This is very strange. And seeing the
Well-
body we found seems to be there longer than it should be.
So are you thinking kind of like a Shangri-La or I don't know if you ever saw, what was it called? Lost Horizon. They find Shangri-La in Tibet and nobody there ages. And when they try to get somebody out, the person instantly ages because time moves differently. And it's an old, legend, but
Mm.
Something like that. Unless there's a Native American equivalent, which
yeah, that's
we have not uncovered yet. Or
Yeah.
is there
We're
is.
talking to the locals about it.
it's also like I think the legend, that sort of legend was once you're there, you have to stay there. If you want to live, you have to stay there because if you try to leave, you'll age. Time will catch up.
It's like a cross to another world.
Yeah.
That could have something to do with, I mean, if your theory is correct, I mean, that would explain why the decomposition on Jesse's body seemed to be
So
really
advanced.
rapid.
Yeah.
I mean,
Then again, I mean, I'm not a medical bio. I don't know how quickly a body can desiccate in 115-degree heat.
Yeah, that is true. That's something to consider. Again, it's just
If she was
theory.
already dehydrated when she passed out, she might have already been half desiccated. But the thing is that we know one thing. We know that they got as far as, the shrooms and beyond, but then she went back. She went back across the
Yeah, she was
desert
quite a
instead of on
ways
the
from
trail.
that, yeah.
And these figures, I saw in the photos, they were following them. For what reason?
Children. Legends. There's got to be some weird legend. And who's this Buffalo fellow? Is it Walk-on Tonka or is it
It makes sense that we found him in the maze, though, right? Like the Minotaur.
right in the dead center, I
Yeah.
think.
Surprised we didn't run into any snakes yet.
Is anybody feeling depressed or like they're going to commit, it's not really a joke. It's we are up against something.
Mental health check. I mean, I'm other than the dead body.
Group hug.
I'm a little shaken up, but I think it's a good idea to keep tabs on each other. But as of right now, I think I'm doing all right, all things considered.
You sit in your hotel room amongst the empty pizza boxes, enjoying each other's company.
And really
Doing
realizing
research.
that we sent Kurt all by himself to Las Vegas.
I mean, we can call him. I mean, he has our numbers too. I mean, I can, if there's a number on those novels, I can maybe call him like, oh, a friend of mine is would like to speak with you. I can do that at least.
I've just gotten to the point where I'm worrying about everybody and everything.
It's not unwarranted.
Andy's going to give a call to the author, so he won't be surprised, I guess.
I hope Kurt did that. But,
Yeah, Kurt.
Oh, he did that?
Kurt
Okay.
already did that.
All right, that's fine then.
Why?
I'm-
It's odd. This cow skull man. He seemed so menacing in the photographs, like he's stalking them almost. But then we find him and he's helpful.
Tomorrow, when we're in the Peach Place, I can never remember the name. Sorry. We're on an Indian reservation. There's got to be someone there, maybe the sheriff, maybe a tribal shaman or something that will understand the significance of this, that we have been seeing something that seems very much American, Native American related. So
Yeah. Just what bothers me is that you saw him, Rooster, that he was pointing to the direction where we found the body.
Well, I think it was, I mean, I can describe him to Nathaniel. He's the only other one that's seen him. So it did point us directly towards the body.
When I saw him from my hotel window, he was pointing us in the direction of the sighing desert.
It'll be better information than anything that we could get from a book, because they don't always write their stuff down, you know.
Yeah, oral tradition.
It's oral tradition, yeah.
Let's try to sleep tonight and do your best to get some rest, Nathaniel. You didn't have much sleep the other night.
I think I need a drink. I could run to the drugstore if you guys need anything.
I don't know. More water would be just fine.
I'll bring water and stuff, but Nathaniel, do you drink?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have whatever you're having. If you grab a 6-pack or a 12-pack, I'd stay up for a little and
Beer? Yeah, okay.
burn the midnight oil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rooster.
Yeah.
As you step into the cool night air on your way to the convenience store, which is a block away, you spy 3 coyotes slinking around in the dark.
All right. I'll if they're probably on the periphery of the light.
They are.
Yeah, I'll stay in the line. If they start following me, I'll snap my fingers at them or make them try to scare them away.
They watch.
Okay.
You do your business, grab your drinks.
Yeah.
When you exit the store, they're no longer there.
Okay. I had some snacks too, candy bars and stuff.
Good. What about you, June and Andy and Nathan, as you're just hanging around? What are you doing for the night? I know Nathan's going to hang out with Rooster. What about June
Stay up
and
with
Andy?
them for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. If are we on the second floor or where
Yes.
are we?
You're on the second floor. You have a sliding porch door that leads out into your own balcony.
Andy's gonna go over there, get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Just looking out in the darkness.
What are you thinking about?
Just he's still thinking about that theory of how time doesn't seem to make sense. Places like how the GPS is going nuts. Like he's just trying to understand, or if there's an explanation, a logical explanation, or a supernatural explanation, but the answers might be tomorrow at Peach Spring.
Okay.
Mhm.
Very nice. What about you, June?
I'd probably just stay up and visit with Rooster and Nathaniel for a little while.
All right. So what do you 3 talk about over drinks?
Can you tell us about the coyotes, Rooster?
Yeah, I'll tell them that there's a lot of coyotes out, I guess.
Tell us there are 3 of them.
Yeah, but
Could
there's
it be-
coyotes in the desert.
Right, but I mean, if we're making connections, maybe it is nothing. But like
3. You're thinking 3.
Cerberus, right? The 3-headed dog.
Yeah.
And then caves are thought to be like the entrance to the underworld, to hell, right?
And that's Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Greek mythology. And the Minotaur has the head of an ox bull.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I am stretching a bit with that one.
Yeah, but that guy was Native American. I mean, he was naked except for loincloth.
What is all this Greek mythology motif in the middle of Native American country is a little strange.
But there's a lot of people that speculate that maybe it all has some, because there's a lot of myths around the world. A good example is like dragons. It's like
Right.
every single nation, every single civilization on the planet has a history with dragons, and yet how could they? American Indians and Chinese and Europeans.
Well, and then one of the pictures that William Drew was a woman with 3 dogs,
That's true.
walking them on leashes.
Now, these coyotes in Native American folklore, kind of a trickster character, aren't
I
they?
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
You can give me an occult.
Nah.
That is an extreme.
Yeah, so they are definitely a trickster type figure, almost like Loki, except that they usually help the hero.
Yeah. I think the really bad one in their mythology is Raven, isn't it? But
So when I saw the man with the bull head or the ox head, he was accompanied by these coyotes. And if they're traditionally considered trickster characters, but also somewhat helpful, and that character, that horned man, was pointing us in directions that led us to some leads and discoveries. I wonder if that's not something that's maybe that's not an antagonistic being.
yeah, maybe he's our helper.
Why is he just looming in the background of these pictures, though? Like, what is... I don't know. The Minotaur, for sure, is not a benevolent figure
No.
in mythology.
There could be
Vicious killer.
Exactly.
2 sides here, maybe this Mater Suspiriorum is operating here, but these could be other beings that have been here all along, and maybe they're not on the same side. We're dealing with dark forces, but also in an area where there are these other forces that are not tied to this, also acting here.
Yeah. I mean, what if the fact is that we've come up against the Furies, against the mothers. Maybe the other side of that argument is helping us, like Athena or something like that. If there's any actual truth to Greek mythology, a lingering primordial truth that gets turned into Apollo.
I mean, that could very well be. I mean, if the Furies, these 3 sisters, can exist and interact with the world, then I don't see any reason why other, perhaps more benevolent or at least neutral characters couldn't also be factors or variables here.
Sure.
Just a lot to think about.
Eventually, the conversation winds down.
Yeah.
And you find yourself tired from today's travels.
And all beard up.
That's right. If you're heading to bed,
I'm going to go to bed.
you're welcome to give me a power roll.
39. I don't know what that is. Let's see.
Hard success.
39 is just a regular.
Okay.
Hard.
Regular.
Cool. June, you wake up in the middle of the night. Before you open your eyes, there's a heavy feeling on your chest, a heavy weight, and then you open your eyes. There's nothing there. You can move, you're not paralyzed, but you have this feeling like someone was there in the room because you're smelling pipe smoke, burnt beef Wellington, fire.
Turn back over and try to go back to sleep. It's just a dream.
Right.
It's just a dream.
Nathan, you find yourself driving a car with Rooster. You're on the road. It's raining out. You can hear the pitter-patter of the rain dropping onto your car's rooftop. It's dark, and you are traveling down a country road. Eventually, you find yourself coming to an intersection, a T intersection, where a street light illuminates a billboard advertising a buy 3, get 1 free sale at a tire store. As your car pulls up to the rain-slicked intersection, you see a woman in a long overcoat walking on the sidewalk nearby. She has 3 big Dobermans on leashes. And she's walking past your car. Very striking, angular face.
Can I interact in the stream?
Of course. You and Rooster can.
Roll down the window and... Excuse me, ma'am. It's awful bad weather to be out here walking your dogs. Are you far from home?
I'm just passing by.
Am I also having this dream? Or-
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's the lady from the picture.
Yeah. I'm aware that I'm dreaming.
That's correct.
Well, stop the car. Stop the car.
Yeah, I'll stop.
You got the window rolled down.
Where are we? I ask her.
You're not here yet.
Not here yet. Who are you?
I don't give my name to strangers.
Yeah, but we've seen you. What are your dogs' names?
I don't give any names to strangers.
Oh. Well, my name is Rooster, and this is Nathaniel.
I know.
Oh, well, then we're not strangers.
Are we...
You don't know who I am.
Where's Ellie?
You'll get there.
Are we on the right track?
She's gone home.
Home? Home is back in Rockport.
You hear in the distance howling and barking, a cacophony of dogs, and a few flickering torchlights ascending a nearby hill in the darkness. She looks towards them.
What's that up there?
Who knows? Maybe you'll find out one day. And she gives you a smile, Rooster. And she walks away into the darkness with the hounds. And that's the end of the dream.
Aw, okay. Ah.
All right. So, Andy, you find yourself in a cave. It's a winding cave with a winding entryway that leads into a ginormous cavern, impossibly tall. You can see artwork on the cave walls. They are not Native American designs. In fact, it looks like archaic Middle Eastern.
Yeah, Andy's going to take a closer look. Like, wait a minute.
Do you have any history, anthropology, or archaeology?
I have history.
Then you're welcome to roll it.
Nope. Fail.
Yeah, it looks nothing like Native American artwork. However, in this Middle Eastern style, you're still seeing modern buildings, some topped with minarets, rising from ancient huts and hovels, and these curious, blurry, human-like figures, which are clothed in tunics and skirts. There is one solitary figure in the middle, dark and foreboding, and it's standing right in the middle, surrounded by these fallen figures that look either like they've prostrated themselves in reverence, or either that or they're dead. The figure is crowned with a halo. Between the parts of the painting, showing the city and the fallen figures, a bird flutters across the painting in the sky. And you wake up.
Yeah, he was just getting a closer look of that bird and just wakes up from from that weird dream.
It's early in the morning. Kurt hasn't arrived back yet, but you're welcome to talk about what you've experienced before you head out.
Nathaniel's going to run over to Rooster's room, knock on the door.
Yeah, dude. Hold on. I unlocked the door and I let him in.
Yeah, I come in. Rooster, I had a wicked weird dream last night. Did you?
We were by a billboard and the woman with the three dogs.
That's exactly right. How do you have the same dream as somebody?
Something's trying to tell us something. Why wouldn't she answer our question? That pisses me off.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why she could just give it to us straight. But there was like some hillside lights, and did you recognize it from somewhere? I couldn't put a finger on it.
I couldn't either, but he kept talking she kept talking like we're going to be there eventually, or we're going to be there soon.
I just don't understand why she couldn't just tell us.
I mean, maybe it's our subconscious. I don't know how any of this works, but somehow our subconscious is trying to interpret the things around us.
Could be. I mean, but how does that explain the fact that our dreams were the same one? I mean, we were interacting with each other.
I don't know. It's wild. Maybe they weren't perfectly in sync with one another, and maybe we're just sort of filling in the details now. But I guess we had the same dream. We had the dream of the woman in the picture that we've seen with the dogs. They seemed meaner, bigger dogs than I thought the little colorful ones were in the painting, but the cartoon. I mean, you know what I mean, drawing.
Do you recognize that T intersection?
No, I mean, it's T intersection out in the middle of.
Maybe we could ask.
3 roads.
Yeah, maybe that's an actual intersection around here somewhere.
I'm sure there's probably hundreds of them around, but it was in the desert, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, it wasn't in the desert.
It was dark, but you could see grass, like it was the countryside.
Wow. Huh. That rules that out. I don't think there's anywhere lush like that around here.
Well, while they're doing that, Andy just finally gets up, gets dressed, and walks over and check up on the others. Has everyone slept okay?
Well, had some weird dreams. We had similar dreams. Is Kurt back yet?
No. You get a message from him saying he'll be back.
Maybe he wanted
sometime
to
in
rest.
the morning. Yeah, he had to get housing in Las Vegas because he was tired
gambled.
from the trip.
I bet you he gambled. Better come home with more money than he left with.
I mean, he's been through a lot. I kind of don't blame him taking at least a breather over there at Las Vegas.
Went and saw Cirque du Soleil or something.
Living a life of vice.
Yeah.
And more vice. Everybody wants more vice. So we had a similar. We dreamed about lady with the 3 dogs.
You did.
And we both had the same dream. Her dogs were Rottweilers. I think they were Rottweilers, right? And 3 dogs. There were 3 roads that came together. There was a billboard. I can't remember what was on the billboard. Do you?
It was an ad for car tires. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free.
That's right. 3 again.
And there was this hillside that was illuminated that we tried to ask the lady about it, but she was very cryptic. She seemed to think, the attitude was, well, you'll find out. You'll get there. And then she said, Ellie has gone home. Just like Jeremy said.
Maybe call home.
I was about to say, have you talked to your wife this morning?
I don't like that phrase because it's a lot of old folks used to mean,
gone home. Just to make sure. I mean, I know that my wife's here with me, but there'd be some people back home manning the store, keeping things running.
Of course, you have your neighbor who's one of your best friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Besides
call
Henry, who you let die on the mountain.
Gee, quit bringing that up. I'm already guilty about it. I'm gonna call my neighbor and just ask if anything strange has gone on, or if he's heard anything, or if anyone's turned up.
Yeah.
Nathan, how goes the search?
Hey, Ralph. Well, it's good and bad. We're finding leads. No sign of Ellie, though. And in fact, I was talking to one of her friends. Jeremy turned up, and I was talking to him at the hospital, and he was telling me that Ellie went home.
Oh, yeah? Jeez. Was he in the right mind?
No, far from it. But I just figured I'd call you. I mean, she hasn't turned up at home or anything, has she?
Oh, no, buddy. You'd be the first one to know.
I just wanted to make sure. I mean, he was telling me that she went home, which seems kind of odd to me, but I just figured it was worth a phone call.
Maybe that Jeremy guy, he's got better. I assume if you're delirious, and once you've had some bed rest, you'll be a little more there.
You can feel him gesture over the phone, because he usually does that.
Yeah, he always talked with his hands. Yeah, I was planning on going and talking with him again. I just wanted to give you a holler and an update. You know, we're doing all right, but things are pretty tense over here because we haven't found her yet. And
hang in there, man. Every day. If you need anything, I got you.
I appreciate that. Well, I got to get back to it, Ralph, but it was good talking to you.
You too. Bye-bye.
So, you two had the same dream. I had the oddest dream. I was in a cavern, and there was this, what we figured out in those pictures, Native American. But it was as if I was there, and I looked a bit closely. It is of Middle Eastern origin. As I looked closer at it, yeah, I tried to remember what specifically, but it just eludes me. That doesn't make any sense. It is what we saw, as what we described, but it is of not Native American, but Middle Eastern.
Yeah, it's quite a distinct different style.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cultures seeming to
Mixed together
here. Yeah.
Well, I think Native American art might be much older than you'd find in the Middle East, but you could find probably stuff in the Middle East that's 2,000 years old. But you said it was modern buildings again? Same thing?
Yes, but it's depicted in the Middle Eastern style. And the most distinct thing is that it was of, there was this figure, and there were people bowing down to it, or they looked dead. And then going across this mural, there was this bird going across. Yeah, I try to get a closer look. The only bird I can think of could be the golden eagle. But from what I've gotten the other day, that the golden eagle can be, well, predatory bird, but could be a protector. But this was just very, very strange.
I mean, all eagles are predators, obviously. But so was it was just a picture, though, right? It wasn't like moving?
No, it was just as if someone had made this years ago, like many, many, many years ago.
June, what did you dream?
I just felt this weight on my chest. And when I woke up, there wasn't anything there, but the smell of pipe tobacco just lingered. And it just feels like Milton had all those dreams, didn't he?
Smell of fire?
Yes. Tobacco and, burnt beef Wellington.
Wait, Maddie?
Maddie? Maddie
No.
and Frank? Frank with his
Yeah.
pipe. Miss Frank. He hasn't shown up lately.
I'm just afraid I'm going to be the next Milton falling into the depths of despair.
No, that's not going to happen, June. That's
Yeah,
not
honey,
gonna
we're not
happen.
going to let that happen to you. Don't worry.
No,
I'll have a sand roll for that, June.
Yeah. That's an 08.
As long as we stick together.
Yeah. You're in good company.
You know, that talk of Middle Eastern art style, the only thing that I could potentially draw a connection to was that this area was traveled by Spanish conquistadors hundreds of years ago, the southwestern United States area. And I mean, I know that they had some tie-ins with the Moors back in the Spain, Morocco area. So there could have been some Middle Eastern artistic influence brought in those days in the Southwest from the Spanish.
Well, the Spanish, definitely, yeah.
that is a possibility.
Well,
Is it?
we didn't see those here, though. We saw Native American paintings.
But in my dream.
Yeah, in your dream, the Middle East. But we're thinking that these are all connected. I mean, we've got myths from Greece. We've got American Indian myths. Are we going to start to see Asian stuff? That wouldn't surprise me. And fill out the planet. Maybe there is a universal. Well, I mean, the thing that you read, Nathaniel, on Mothers of Sorrow, they've been around since the beginning of humanity. They've influenced people all over the planet. The Greek mythologies might come from that. The Native American mythologies might come from that.
It's a possibility.
Middle Eastern, Asian, Russian, who knows? They might all tie into one another. South American, Iceland.
It's as if everything is converging in this one point. It's a mixture, like a melting pot of some sort.
We've stumbled onto some sort of doorway. The key, we see the key that keeps showing up too in things.
So if we find the key, it says there that she doesn't really use it very often, if I remember correctly, from the Ladies of Sorrow.
We are kind of in a danger zone as far as logic goes, because we have things that we've seen and that we've started to believe, and it could be that in the process of looking around, we fill in the blanks with our own imaginations. Yeah, I mean, I do insurance investigation. You've got to remember that it's easy to imagine that the wife did it or the husband did it or something like that, but you've got to just deal with the absolute facts that you can establish. So we need to start making a list of things that we know are real and see if we can put together, I don't know what, it's just something to keep our minds from going bananas over this shit.
Well, the facts are this. We found a teenager dead. There's one in the hospital right now. There's other 3 that are missing. That's real, right?
That's real.
Okay.
The fact that I saw something that pointed in that direction, we don't know if that's real or just an accident. Like you guys said, they looked all over the trail for those kids and they couldn't find anything. We left the trail and we found one of them. That could just be a coincidence, a lucky coincidence. And then we're just reading too much into it. I'm just saying we need to keep our wits about us or we're going to go nuts. We're going to go jumping off a cliff thinking that an angel is telling us to, or some nonsense like that. But when Kurt gets back, and I think we should head towards Peach Springs. Is it Peach Springs?
It is.
Peach Springs.
So you're going to be waiting for Kurt, making your preparations for the day, packing, restocking on resources like water and food, getting ready to head out. And we'll end it there.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Our players included Holly Buto, Chase Capner, Dan DePaulis, Nell Hillpole, and myself with Alexen as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all of the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.